Okay. Hello, Layla. It is fine. It is very nice to finally have you at the show today
Hi, Paul.
as
Thank
our
you
guest.
for the invite. Happy to be here.
Glad you are here. So, could you tell us about yourself? What do you do for business?
Um, where do I start? So, first of all, I have a full-time job where I'm a digital media specialist at a marketing agency here in Toronto. So, I do ads pretty much on all the platforms. I also have some of my side hustles, some of my side businesses. It also I provide a marketing strategy for small business owners, and I also have my podcast that I created. It's in Ukrainian language. A lot of Ukrainian business owners come and they tell their success stories. Also, experts come and share some of their knowledges that will be super helpful for immigrants who just came to Canada, because I feel it's a very stressful time in your life if you immigrate in. So just wanted to start that to provide some information for them to maybe ease their process.
So, when you say you do advertising, you mean digital advertising mostly?
Yes, yeah. So Google
Because,
Ads,
yeah,
all Meta ads, all the ads.
like this
Yeah,
being a live example right here, right now.
yeah. I love marketing. I love digital. So I'm very happy that I chose it as my education and then my career. Super interesting, I feel.
And what do you think about the world today? What do you think are the perfect qualities for a gentleman in the 21st century?
What are the perfect qualities? I feel the most important, for me, is the integrity. I really feel like it's important when you say you do something and you keep your word and you follow through it. You know, if you said you will call or you do something and you don't do it and then you're like, yeah, I got busy. I really hate that. I don't know.
I think all of us really hate that.
Yeah.
There is a quote, if I can remember it. I believe it says that average men make promises, gentlemen stick to their commitment.
Yeah. And it's exactly that. It's so important because every time, kind of that's not happen, you kind of feel disappointed or let down, because you did expected something, I'll say, even though expectations is often it's your own fault that you expect more and then you don't get it. When you don't expect something and you get something, you're more excited rather than you expect.
I think in our generation, it's became so awkwardly common that most of the people even made a name for it. I believe it's called ghosting, something like that.
Yeah. Oh,
Ghosting or standing
yeah.
out. What in the world is the
Ghosting
name?
is, I think it's a very common thing right now. I don't know. I haven't dated in a long time. I've been in a relationship. So I'm not sure, but I've heard Toronto specifically dating scene is atrocious nowadays. You just get ghosted.
Yes, it's really, really weird. So I think we are the best examples or the best people to give advice to other people, because unlike others, we're not dating, we're actually in a real relationship, both of us.
Yeah.
And I keep seeing how a lot of people taking advice from single people online, and I'm just thinking, why? Why are you taking advice from these people? They're con artists.
Yes. That's the thing, right? You always want to look up at the people who are successful in something. So you would want to have a marriage advice from someone who's been in a marriage for quite some time versus from a divorced person. There's no offense to the divorced people. I don't want to come off rude, but I mean, if you want a business advice, you go to somebody who's successful in the business. If you want a relationship advice, you would go to someone who's...
Let's take an alternative example. We're not going to ask poor people how to get rich. And we're not going to ask bald people how to grow hair.
Yeah.
So this is another thing in the relationship. We're just, we shouldn't be asking single people how to get married or how to get into a relationship.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you think that the gentlemen are important in the 21st century? Do you think more young men should become gentlemen today?
I think so. I think it's always important to be a gentleman, especially right now. I feel, because we talk about the dating nowadays, right? I feel online dating apps made a huge impact to like what is dating right now, because it's became easy just to find somebody, to go out with somebody. And I feel genuinely, if you don't put effort in something, it's very easy to like let go. And I feel that makes an impact of how men have been treated women as well, because I've seen it. Like some of my single girlfriends, like every time they talk about the dates, it's pretty disgusting of what's going on.
I kind of missed the part here discussing from which side, from who behaved badly in that situation.
Well, like everyone has a point of view, but I feel right now men behave not as respectful towards women on the dates.
Okay.
Like it's okay to ask on the first date to like where are we doing, like where are we going after, your place or my place. And I felt for me, I'm like, if I would would have been asked that on the first date, I would be probably freaked out.
Yes, I believe from personal opinion, I believe that when it comes to the first date, it should go no further than a kiss. Like the kiss is
Yeah.
the last thing you do, nothing more.
Mm-hmm.
And even that, I'm not saying that you should always do it. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
if you really like the date, you really had a lot of fun, you already made the second idea, and both sides really like it,
Mm-hmm.
I think a kiss in this situation would be normal, but nothing further.
Yeah, it's all depends on the situation. And like recently I've heard the new term, the situationships. You know?
Seriously?
Yeah, situationships is like not a relationship, but a situation that happened between the people, and then after if they ghosted or like just, you know, like connected for a short period of time and then like they are gone, they moved on. So now it's a thing. People
Yeah.
in the situationships.
Is really awkward, but I guess it's just it's a stage of evolution in a way, because what the dating apps and the whole digital era did is they didn't really ruin our situation, they just changed it.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of changes. I mean, I wonder how things changed when simply the phone was invented. And then the whole,
Yeah.
we are the generation that got stuck with the iPhones, and we needed to know how to be charismatic online, which is personally I had really horrible stuff with that. I used to be so awkward in that situation because I didn't know how to use the whole emojis. I had no idea what LMAO meant, and I used those terms in a very, very wrong way, which are so embarrassing. I'm not even gonna tell.
Well, right now also, well, I just heard on the radio, and we were talking about it just last night, that the guy was on the radio and he did an interview because he's dating an AI. So he's talking to ChatGPT and he calls it his girlfriend, and he just says that she gets him and that's his girlfriend now.
Oh my god, that reminds me of the movie called Her,
Yeah.
and there was a pretty much identical situation, only it was intentional.
Yeah.
They made an iPod, a small, pretty much this size of a square, and it talked to him in the attractive female voice, and it said exactly what he wanted to hear,
Mm-hmm.
and he kind of fell in love with it, and
Yeah.
so did a lot of other people. I don't remember the whole story. It was a long time ago, but it really
Yeah.
seems that we're going to that level.
That's crazy. But another thing also, like I don't know, I would love to hear your POV because you're a man, and what I've heard from my male friends, that it's hard right now also be a gentleman because women do not allow them to do so, because they're like, no, I'll get my own door, I'll get my own glass. So I feel it's also an other side of the story where you don't know how to behave because you don't want to offend women right now.
So I've experienced that more than once, and there's a 50-50% chance, no different than coin flipping. So when you open the door,
Mm-hmm.
one side, 50% of the women, especially here in Toronto, is gonna tell you that that was a bad move because she can do it herself, that you offended her. The other 50 are gonna be very thankful for it, and they're gonna be very happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened to the young men? They don't know which part to choose,
Yeah.
because what are they? They're flipping a coin to either get, let's say, scolded at or be thanked for.
Yeah. You don't know what it is normal anymore.
Not
Like-
well, abnormality has become the new normal. At least that's how I've seen it. And very few young men are actually aware that girls like to talk indirectly. The whole signaling thing, a lot of people don't exactly believe it, especially from the male side. They all speak directly. There is no mixed messages in their situation. And I myself didn't know about the indirect
Hints.
hints, signals, insinuations. I had no idea about that. I had to study an entire book about it in order
Yeah.
to comprehend that. But it actually does make sense in real life because human communication resides 93% in body language. Only 7% of human communication is actually verbal. So when you come to think of it in a more professional and advanced way, it does make sense.
Yeah. Like they say, read the room, right? So you need
Exactly.
to get
So
what's the vibe?
the fourth question, what specific actions do you consider examples of a gentlemanly behavior? And just to not spend too much time, can you give us four, for example?
The first one, right, when you keep your word. That's what I
Yes, that
already
was a very
mentioned.
good
That's for
one.
me is like super important. Another one is I don't know how you position it as a quality, but I think politeness probably the right word for it. And just I personally think we're all human. I don't like how sometimes we define like people by class. I feel we all should treat human like equally. Doesn't matter on their status. So sometimes like I can see that. I think that might come as an arrogance, but I feel you just need to be a good human being, and of course that's very important.
That should be the most important part by default.
Yeah.
And two more?
So what I think what's important and what we've been working on also with my partner, it's like taking responsibility for the actions.
Responsibility.
Yeah,
So
so-
basically lead the relationship.
Yes, in effect, not like really lead the relationship, but like being responsible for the thing that happened, not blame like the mercury or whatever,
see.
the bad day for what happened. Like owning up to your mistakes and just to say that okay, I messed up, and owning up, apologizing. I feel that's a very important like quality for men and for women as well. But
I think it's more important for men because most of the girls do want men to lead the relationship. And with the whole part where they try to get the girls' decisions for that, very few guys know that it's a huge turnoff for the girls, especially if you're just starting to date.
Yeah.
And you ask her which place does she prefer. It's a really big flip.
yeah. But on another hand, that taking responsibility and accountability for your family. I think that's important. And for your relationship too. Like I'm very career driven. I'm a very strong woman, but I don't want to feel that at home. So I love at home, like for my partner to take responsibility for our family, for some decision making, for future planning, because I feel safe as a woman, and especially after you having children, right? Because sometimes
Oh,
women
yeah, that's a big one.
step back in like making money or whatever. So it's great when men have that ability to step up, and you feel with whatever your stage in life, you're rather pregnant and you left work, or then you have a child and you have to stay at home. You just do not worry of the part of like your family future or anything. You can focus on your growing your fam.
And what advice would you give to the men today? You mostly already did that, but just to finish off.
I feel something that I've noticed in like something I've done in the past, which were in my relationships, and also I see it nowadays, is when you bring your past to and project it to your new relationship. So basically, we've all probably dated like not a greatest people on earth, but that doesn't mean that your next one also gonna hurt you or do like some some bad stuff. So you just go into the new relationship and the new mindset, and you don't bring your past insecurities or past experiences onto this absolutely brand new person that just literally want to get to know you. Like, work your stuff by yourself and then go into a relationship with a clean mind.
That is very good advice. I think a certain quote would be a perfect finish for this situation, which is the past is the history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why we call it the present.
Yeah. I love all your quotes that you have all in your pockets. You know a lot. I can remember any quote, but yeah, it is perfect. I feel like we all need to start clean. If you start new relationship, start it from the clean paper and just write your history, and don't bring your past stuff. It's gone. It's done. Forget about it.
So I think that's the finish.
Yeah.
So it
Well,
was very nice to have you on the show today.
thank you.